Just from everything it looks like, this could be a software issue. Alright, so going along the lines of thinking it was a software issue, after unplugging that USB, I performed a full power cycle or a hard reboot. This is a standard troubleshooting technique. So next I'm going to show you how to power cycle or hard reboot a Tesla. Alright, so to power cycle the car, this is a little bit more involved. So step one, we're going to open the front, then we're going to roll down all the windows, and then you're going to open the rear doors, leave them open, and with no power, the handles won't work, and the manual release for the rear doors is much harder to get to than the front doors. All right, next in here, in the front, we're going to pull up on the service hatch panel there, and right up here, this is a small low voltage battery. Essentially, this is a standard car battery. There's the negative terminal, so we're going to disconnect the negative terminal with a 10 millimeter socket. And then once this is disconnected, I usually leave some sort of foam or a cloth. There we go. So that's gonna get loose, and then I will get a piece to keep that battery disconnected. Next, we're gonna pull up the rear seat. A little trick I have learned is to put all the seat belts in so they don't fall through, and I'll get the other side. And then there's a latch under here, right down in here. Now that I have released this lever, the seat pops open. Next, there's this little black cover. We're going to remove that. And then right there is the connector to the main computer. We're going to remove that, and that's going to fully depower the car. Connector disconnected. You're going to hear a little clunk when you pull that out. That's what's called a contactor opening, meaning it's disconnecting itself from the main battery. So now the car is fully de-energized. Now what I mean when it's fully de-energized, the normal handle, it doesn't do anything, so I can't open the door. Now it's fairly easy with the front doors because right up front of the power window button, there's a latch. So I can pull that latch, and that will still open the door when there's no power to the car. Normally, you don't want to use that manual latch, and in normal operation, the car will warn you, do not use that. It could damage the window or the trim, because if the window is up all the way, it might hit at the top. Normally, when you use the electronic release, it lowers the window and then opens the door. All right, now we let it sit for about 5 minutes. All right, now to re-energize the car, you're going to do everything in reverse. So start by plugging in the main connector for the car's computer. Nothing's going to happen at first until you go to the front and reconnect that little battery. You're going to see some sparks because it's going to essentially jump start the car. And then you're going to hear a lot of noises and clanking as contactors in the car all turn back on and close. Alright, so at this point, I was like, I think I am tapped out of what I'm capable of. So first, I turned to the forums to start researching these issues. And I did find something interesting. So I Google searched my car model and having this PCS A022 warning or alert. And I came across this, which is very interesting. Power trunk retrofit causing car awake. The car awake was actually a side effect I wasn't even really trying to troubleshoot at that moment. So essentially with this, I have the exact same issue. So this whole post is about this warning. Not CC, but it's this, PCS A022, as well as UI112 USB malfunction. So that's exactly what I am experiencing. So reading through this person here did some investigation and deduced the following, which is very interesting, that the trunk retrofit is basically splicing wires into an existing wiring harness. And through this, I was able to think of an interesting way that Tesla is trying to save some money with this retrofit by not making the latch smart, but making it grounded, and the computer controller for the power lift gate, this power lift controller, is only detecting a ground. When the latch is closed, then it detects the ground. When the latch is open, it detects no ground circuit. So very interesting. So in here, they tried to remove or unplug this little spliced connector. All right, so at this point, I basically was like, nah, let's stop right now. So I made a service appointment through the Tesla app, and I was able to get a same-day appointment. And let's talk about that. All right, so the service appointment, they checked it in. I saw that they kept it there overnight. They actually gave me a loaner of a Tesla Model Y, which I'll tease right here. Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Cause I've been living life. Then I'll have a separate review on the Model Y versus the Model 3, and maybe down the road I'm gonna get a Model Y, but that's something to be discussed later. So back to the service appointment. They monitor it for a couple days. They checked it. They said hardware-wise, it's fine. There was actually an emerging issue that they discovered once they reached out to Tesla engineering. And this issue was very specific to the retrofit of the power liftgate for the 2020 Tesla Model 3s. What's happening is the control module, similar to what we saw with that forum post, the control module firmware is incompatible with the main Tesla's ECU. So basically the main software is incompatible with the firmware on that power liftgate module. So that's where the issue comes up. And it's all related, where the car just sitting on the side, I would hear it every, say, 5 to 10 minutes would clank, meaning it goes to sleep and the contactors of the battery open, and then just a minute after that, click, click. I would hear the two contactors closing again, meaning it's waking up again. It would never go to sleep, and I would see this 6% battery drain issue overnight. And even that led to the charging issue I was experiencing, which started this whole thing, where in the morning it would try and charge because it's preconditioning, and it just can't, and the system, just to protect itself, blocks the charging. So it's all down to an incompatible firmware on the control module for the power liftgate. So the resolution that they gave me, and they were very nice there. We got to connect with a couple of people there. It was really cool. I actually know one of the people that are there. They're all really amazing at that Tesla service center that I went to. However, the resolution was, please wait for a software update in the future, and this will rectify the issue. Well, I have had a software update since then, and it has not rectified the issue. So for now, I actually unplugged that little cable that the forum post was talking about. All right, so let's talk about what's going on. I got the notice in the Tesla app, which I'll show you on screen right now. It says the 12-volt battery needs to be replaced soon. Now, the 12-volt battery is what runs most of the electronics on the car, such as the touchscreen, the doors, the front, the trunk, all the powered stuff. Besides driving the car, anything that's not involved with driving the car is run by that 12-volt battery. So I got the notice that it needs to be replaced soon. So I was like, all right, let me go look at the car. I try to open the door, nothing. The touchscreen in there, nothing. I do now go over to the charge port. There's no light there either. Try and unlock it, nothing. So the car is pretty much dead right now in terms of getting in. Now, we're going to have to potentially jump the car through this little port right there. So let's take a look at what we have to do next. All right, so step one on here, just going to pop that in. This little door comes out, and And there is one cable attached to the door. All right, so I have pulled out the positive cable with the red tape on there. Now I just gotta get a little battery. That is needed to touch the positive and negative terminals to the battery, and that should pop open the frunk. I'm gonna have to try one of these 9 volts. It had to be specifically 9 volts, it looks like. 9 volt? Worked! Now we are in the frunk. So the car is still reporting as online here. When I try and unlock it, nothing happens. I try and do any of the controls, nothing happens except the Windows vent. It opens the passenger side windows, not the driver side windows. Those don't work at all. And I did try, since there is some power going to these windows and the passenger side doors, to unlock, but I still can't get in. So with the windows vented, I was able to get a yardstick. Now specifically, I had to use a thin yardstick, so this thin metal one. Get it inside the car. Now once it was inside the car, I had to very carefully get it up to where the release button was, or the door open button should be. And there we go. Now that the door was released, there we go. I got into the car. Now, because the vehicle still had 1 year left of the standard, or not really the standard, but the extended warranty that was free because I bought the car used, I was able to get a free 12-volt battery. I just had to get it to the Mount Kisco Tesla. So, we're going to have to tow the car. Alright, so that was quite a journey. Being locked out of your own car felt very weird, and like I had to break into my own car, even though I was able to just get that yardstick through the vented window that was cracked open just an inch. So, had it towed again. Everything looked like it was fine. They replaced the battery. They didn't charge me anything. I don't know if it's because it was still under warranty, or if it's because I don't have my Model 3 anymore. So this will be in separate videos coming up, but yes, I did trade in the Model 3. It was kind of like a perfect timing situation with the recent drop in all of the Tesla pricing and the incentives. So there's $7,500 of an incentive from the federal government, and then from the state, specifically from New York State, there was a $500 tax credit. Now, they changed these recently, so these tax credits, so $8,000 is applied at the point of sale, not when you file your taxes in the coming year. So that was very helpful. And I had trade-in value on the car. After they fixed it, minus everything I still owed on the Model 3, I still had some positive equity that I was able to put towards the Model Y. And this stealth gray Model Y, just look at it in the camera there. The pictures don't do it justice, and the video doesn't do it justice, but this color is really cool, especially in the light. But I will have videos on the Model Y coming up. So this was quite a journey, this 2-part series, essentially, from what I thought was a wall connector issue to actually what ended up being an issue with the power liftgate that Tesla themselves installed that caused that. And then the car battery died, the low voltage battery specifically. That was unrelated to all those issues, but then in the end, I have a brand new car. It had 10 miles on it, so I'm very happy with that. All right, so that's going to be a wrap for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Today, the day I'm posting this Full Charge Thursday, is my birthday. So that's why I'm posting this earlier in the day, because I have some festivities for my birthday that I will be partaking in later. If you're new to the channel, we want to continue seeing Tesla content or electric vehicle content. Because all the way up front there, right in that area, is my electric motorcycle, the Harley-Davidson Livewire. I will continue to put out some electric vehicle content, thus the name of the channel, The Electrified Weatherman, and all the weather content. I apologize for not getting it out sooner last night, but we had quite the storms to come through. So on the next live stream, we're going to discuss those storms that came through, because they were short, but they were intense in the New York City area. This is Chief Meteorologist Andrew Panero. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little like button next to that to get notified when I upload videos like this, when I do go live. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. I'm definitely going to be enjoying my birthday, and I'll see you all in the next video. 'Cause I've been living life right like I